Hello, thank you for looking at this video. This is to just give you an overview and a basic idea of how to use the built-in effects in the Akai MPC1. Um, there is an amazing depth and complexity available, but the basic use is actually really simple, which is how it should be in my mind. So without much further ado really, I've loaded in a drum kit, no effects on, and then I've also got a pad on, just to demonstrate the two effects with. Some of the effects things you can do with it. One of my favourite things is I always loved to do in the days of analog drum machines is I love to put a flanger on the snare drum. I just like the way it sounds, and that's something that's really easy to do. So I get into my drum kit. There we go. So you can put an effect just on that one pad. So in this case, it's A6. Yeah. So go in, pad editor, and you'll see if I press the one, you can see which pad's making a noise. This can actually be very useful when you're doing rhythms and things, actually, or you're trying to find which thing's making a sound. This pad mixer, so on, is quite handy. Anyway, so let's get back to my snare. So I want to put a flanger on it. So you can see at the moment, this is what's called the channel strip. This would be the same as what would be a channel strip on a mixer. And there's nothing in the inserts. This is insert effects. And you see there's no effect. I'll click on that. And this is a list of all the effects I have on my MPC1. I think, I could be wrong, but I think these are all ones that came as standard. I'm pretty sure they were. It's just it did change because I think they released some new effects just after I bought mine. Sorry, and I went straight past the flanger there, didn't I? Well, we could use anything, it doesn't matter. Oh, there's a flanger, let's have that one. I haven't tried this one. So I think I must probably change the sound. Okay, so you can see it now says flanger, and if we go back to the channel strip, you see it now says flanger in the left-hand column there. Oh, does I put the right key? There we go. That's key, pad. Okay. So to edit it, if you go back in, you've got the little pencil symbol. And so this is the controls on the flanger, like it was a hardware piece of kit. And one of the nifty things here is, get it right, there we go. There's these 4 Q-link moves at the side of the screen, do these 4 knobs down this road. A bit like on one of the other videos, you can see the little orange box around the 4 knobs that the Q-links works on. So that's always quite handy. Yeah. There you go. So just make it wetter. There we go. Full wet now. Let's make it milder. And dry. Okay. Quite nice actually. I have to do this on one of my songs now. So that's it. That's literally all there is to it. So that's put in a flanger. Obviously, you could tweak it to your heart's content. And as I say, there you go. There's millions of other ones you can go on to. I won't bore you with the list, but there's a bazillion of them. You'll soon find out. Imagine when you get one, you don't need to tap on it. I tend to keep tapping on it because I'm so used to playing with the touch screen on the MPC1 now. I tend to forget you can actually do things with the knobs. So get back out of that. So that's putting a pad on. Sorry, putting something on a pad. If I want to do something to the whole drum kit, the easiest way of doing it is if you go into here. This is just go back, the channel mixer. So this is, at the moment, you see I've got 3 things. Program 1, which is not me, that's the default on the MPC1. This is the drum kit I loaded, you can see. And then the other one is the pad, which I can't make a sound at the moment because I'm not on it. So, actually, I'll show you. I'll quickly do that. So if I go to track 2, not quite actually doing that. How can I go to this? Okay. But I want to put a compressor on the drums, so I've gone back to the drums on the main screen. One of the brilliant things about the MPCs, and this has been true since my MPC 2000 XL many years ago, you have a main button just to go straight back. It's lovely. And it brings you straight back. And this I do 80–90% of what I do is on this screen. But this is where all the fun and detail is in this screen. So the channel mixer, so that's the drums. So exactly the same thing as before. You've got nothing showing there. So you click on there. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? There, I'll pick a compressor. Yeah, that's changed, isn't it? So this is now it's exactly the same thing. Click on the pencil to edit it. Oh, it's a bit too powerful. I'll just weaken it a bit. There we go. Well, I like that. That's almost as good as the flanger. You see, that's now on all the drums on the drum kit. Bit of a nod to Peter Gabriel's Intruder there, just in case you didn't recognise it. That's like I say, puts it on the whole program. And you see it says program in the top left-hand side. If you finished your mix and you want to put a reverb on it all, the thing to do is go to main outputs. And you click on that, same as before, no effects. Find a reverb you want to use. One of my favourites is down here. The non-linear reverb, I like that one. And then again, you can edit it. So this is now on everything. So whatever is included in the mix on this sequence or everything I've assigned to outputs 1 and 2, sorry, to be more accurate, because you can assign them to other outputs. But you normally do a mix to outputs 1 and 2. And so everything that's assigned to outputs 1 and 2, which would be a whole mix normally, is now going through that reverb. So if I go back to, let's do it again. There you go. So you might not be able to tell, but that's now going through that reverb as well. So like I say, main outputs when you're on the channel mixer screen, really, really handy for doing mix, for the reverb when you're doing the final polish of your final mix. And one of the things again I love about the Akai MPC1, you can actually do if all your stuff is within it, and I do record my vocals into it now as well. You can do your whole mix within the box and just save it to a WAV file, and then move the WAV file to your computer for tidying up to put on the internet or whatever you do with it. So just going back to the channel mixer. So it's main outputs. I'll skip through a couple of other submixers. I've never messed with submixers, but just like on a real mixer, in inverted commas, a hardware mixer, you can have submixers that you can do different things to. And so it might be, if you were in the real world, if you're recording live drums, you would have a group of microphones going to a submix to control the overall mix of drums. I've never needed to use a submix for what I'm doing, so I don't use it. Returns 1. Again, I've not messed with, but this is putting insert effects in. Excuse me. And I don't really use it. So back on programs, audio tracks. This is something I've started using a lot in recent times on the MPC1. This is how I record my vocals. And there'll be a video on that at some point, because it's actually one of the best features of the whole thing about the modern MPCs, I think, is what you can do with audio tracks once you've got them into the machine. And again, so let's say I'd recorded my vocals. I haven't, but I thought about it. I might have done exactly the same thing. I'm on the audio tracks, and I just click in there, whichever effect I want to use. Just pick one, the enhancer, just because that's something you might put on a vocal. And then again, there's the screen for if you want to edit it. MIDI tracks is the subject of another video. This screen really is, you can alter the MIDI volume, which is actually quite handy. I haven't actually ever used it, but well, sorry, I take that back. I've used it once temporarily to shut something up while I did something else. It was quite a handy way um, of checking something. And it is also means that if you say, for instance, put the bass drum on one track of the sequence and the snare drum on another track of the sequence, it in effect gives you another way of mixing them and so on. But you notice there's no way to add effects on here. There's no space for it. So right, so I mucked up what I was going to tell you there, so I've had to restart. I normally try to do these videos live in one take, but there you go. So to look at this pad, and again, go into Channel Mixer. It's on. You can see it's on the, and you can see that the noise is there, and the little green lines going across. And you can see there's actually 4 effects on it already. And there's already a reverb on it, which is probably why the other reverb I put on the whole mix didn't make that much of a difference. I didn't look at this before I started the video. And again, if you wanted to edit any of those, there's the 4 listed down. 4 is your maximum. I'm sure it's more than enough for most people. I think I've put 2 on once, and that's about it. You see, normally what I would do if I was going to use this sound, I would actually get rid of the reverbs, and I can do that just like that. So what I did, I pressed the dustbin button, so there's no effect. If I wanted to put something else on, I could just go onto it. There's the compressor, and you can just turn them on and off. You don't have to bin them. You can just turn them on and off if you wanted to. So you wanted to see, it's a good way of seeing if, where you've got a complex effect system going on. You could see what each one's doing if you wanted to. Again, I've never needed to do that, but it's there if you want it, which is always handy. Right, so the only other place to show you where effects are is in Program Edit. Program Edit, I'm already on the page. So normally you'd be on the samples page. So this is where you choose your samples for your pads. This would be where you choose them. But you can see there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pages, and the right hand one is effects. And you can see it's very, very similar to the other screen. And you can just allocate them there if you want to. So, and bearing in mind this is extra effects over and above those other ones. You can see that's why they doesn't show you the same ones. But these are insert effects. But the main thing to remember there is just that there are more effects. So in effect, you could get 8 effects on a program if you did it the 2 ways. So I'm going to get rid of that so I don't muck it up for when I save this. So I think that's it. In general, I'd say the quality is excellent. They're certainly versatile. You start messing about with the settings, you're programming them yourselves, what you do. I nearly always tweak the mix because you can do the dry wet mix on 99.9% of them. I'm sure I've covered myself there because I haven't found one yet that you can't. So, so I think that's it. If you've got any questions, please ask in the comments, and thank you for watching.